Hey guys, this is Charles. So today I'm going to do an interview with Nicholas Bosch out of Chilliwack, BC, and I'm sure some of you follow him. He's got his own YouTube channel, so I think it's called Every Man's Empire, and yeah, you should check it out. He's another Canadian seller doing really well on Amazon.com. And yeah, so I'll let him introduce himself, and yeah, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Charles. I appreciate you bringing me onto your channel. So for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Nicholas Bosch, like Charles was saying. I'm 22 currently. My birthday was January 19th, so I just turned 22. I started selling on Amazon roughly 2 years ago. For myself, I have currently 45 SKUs on Amazon. I have like 4 different seller accounts with 5 different brands. I have 2 brands on one account, and then 1 brand on each different account. I sell mostly in the beauty products niche, and then I have a few another account where it has like just really just random products, just where, for example, I can sell like an iPhone, Red Bulls, stuff like that. I mean, Red Bull is a restricted or a brand, you need brand approval to sell that, but I sell that, and then my 2 beauty brands, I have 2 different ones. One's more of a topical niche where it's like creams, stuff that you put in your skin, and the other one's just like physical, non-lotion, non-topical products in the beauty niche, like for example, like makeup brushes, makeup brush racks and organizers, stuff like that. So
awesome. Well, yeah, I think so. What kind of numbers are you doing right now between all of your accounts?
Right. So between all of my accounts, so all my accounts together, like all 4 accounts, just really put together. So right now I'm doing, for that top account, I'm doing roughly $150,000 in revenue with that one. The next biggest one I'm doing about 80 to 90. Christmas I actually bumped to like 140. So it's more of, right now it's like 80. The other one's like 30, and then I got one that's like 16 right now. So it's a pretty small one. Got only 4 SKUs on that one. So the other one's got 4 SKUs, but it's doing a bit better. And then yeah, so it's kind of how my accounts work. But
awesome. So yeah, you've grown really quickly. So what's your main market? Is it Amazon.com? Do you sell on any other markets, or?
No, I sell on .com. That's my main market. Just like I said, the beauty market's I tell everybody, my beauty market's my market. If you're there, you'll probably see me. I'm small, but like at the same time, I'm not in the like supplements category. I'm literally beauty. When you think of girls and what they need to put on themselves, they use my products. So that's literally where I am at.
It's good products because they have to buy it every month, right?
Yeah.
So, and then usually markup is pretty good on those.
And subscribe and save every month.
Yeah, that's true. Awesome. And so you don't sell on .ca or .uk or Japan or whatever,
no.
Right? Okay. And so do you develop these brands outside of Amazon as well, like on Shopify or other marketplaces, or strictly on Amazon?
So are you saying, do I go outside of Amazon and build a brand like that? Like you mean like say ClickFunnels and stuff like that, like landing pages and?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
so,
you do outside of Amazon.
Yeah, so that's a good question. I don't have a Shopify store. We're working on learning Shopify because obviously that's something good that's out there. But really what I'm focusing on right now, like I've told a lot of people on my channel, is I have these SKUs, right? But not always launching. Like 2017 was my year, right? I went hard, like literally hard at launching products. But at the same time, you thin yourself out. So for me, I thought it was better to slow down, stop launching SKUs for now, or stop launching new products. I launched a variation maybe during that time, but like as for now, I'm not launching any more SKUs. What I'm looking to do is build a ClickFunnels, like bridge pages, collecting emails, run ads. Shopify is good, but I feel like ClickFunnels is just better. You can drive traffic, you can collect emails along the way. I'm looking to do some ManyChat, stuff like that, so collect some messenger data or messenger, I guess like email marketing, but messenger marketing, so whatever you want to call it. So doing that instead of just building out SKUs. So that's more important to me right now. So my focus right now is just building out bridge pages, stuff like that. And as you probably, for those of you guys who haven't seen, like on my YouTube channel, I put like a ClickFunnels video, and that's why Gerald has been really advantageous to my business as a business partner.
Yeah, awesome. And what's your end goal with your businesses, Nick? Is it to grow it or sell it, or what's your goal?
See, everybody asks me this question: what are my goals? And it's a tough one because everybody in life should have a goal, right? And some people should have a short-term goal, and some people have a long-term goal. I really don't have any of these juicy goals. Like, I want to build a new Amazon. I want to do this. I want to do that. My goal is, and Gerald's goal, we kind of come in line with the same thing, and Gerald has more knowledge in it, so that's another reason why he's a great partner in this, is I want to build, more real. I want to get more real estate. So I want to use Amazon. I don't know if I just sell them because there's cash flow. Like, I'm not in the cash flow stage anymore where I'm having issues with cash flow. So there's capital, right? I can start popping or using capital to start putting into real estate, put it into whatever I like, right? So my end goal is real estate. However, the market here is awful currently. So
yeah,
I got real estate. I bought 2 houses when I was 18, when I was 19. So I got 2. They've almost doubled in price. One I bought when I was at 278 and one at 286. Now they're both worth roughly 510, and one's on the market currently for 509,999. So there was a lot of money to be made. Now I feel like it's kind of really capped out, and I might be wrong. Who knows, right? But real estate's my game, and I'm thinking about going to the U.S. for that.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I mean, it's always good to have a cash flowing business where, you can take that money and invest it into real estate, like you're doing. It's always, I always like asking this question because it's really different for different people, right? Some people are just like literally building it to sell it, and then others prefer keeping it for cash flow and stuff.
I think to answer that again, or answer that further, like, people ask me why wouldn't you sell it and just take the amount of cash, right? Like, yeah, sure, I could sell some of these brands probably for a big chunk of money, because especially in the beauty niche you can sell for the biggest ROI. I've heard, according to I've talked to brokers before, FBA brokers, and according to them, you can sell your beauty brand for 2 to 3 times the ROI you generate in a year. So if I make, say, $600,000 profit in a year, say for example, then I could sell it for 2 to 3 times that amount.
Yeah, it's, it might actually be more than that now, because I've talked to a broker at Website Closers like a week ago, because I'm actually looking at selling my business, and I could get a 4-time multiplier online. Wow. And I'm not in the beauty niche, But I mean, there's many variables to consider, and one of them is how long you've been selling and your growth rate. And I've been selling for a little longer than you have, so that could add up. Mm-hmm. But I know that's what he was telling me. A year ago, you could get between 2 and 3 times. Now it's 3 to 4 times.
Really? So another thing I want to bring up is a quick little question for me to learn off of you a little bit is also when you sell your brand, it includes like your Instagram, your Facebook page, this and that, right? Do you have a fairly large following on Instagram? Because I have a fairly large page, but...
No, honestly, like everything that's outside of Amazon has grown kind of organically. We've never really invested a whole lot of money into it because we like to focus on what works, and it's Amazon.com.
Yeah.
So, our Facebook page has like 6,000 or 7,000 followers. Instagram, you know what? I'd have to check. I'm not even sure because I don't take care of it at all. My VA does that, so I don't know. But I guess it probably adds to the value, but I told him everything about our business, and it's all true, and that's what he told me. So, and to get to a 5 times multiplier, you actually need. He said you need at least $1 million in net profits to get a 5-time multiplier. So the bigger you get, the bigger the multiplier. So
wow. So you would think about like selling your brand would be a lot of money, a lot of real estate.
Yeah, it's good, and that's why I wasn't really thinking about it. And then I know a few other big sellers who have sold one of their brands or their only brand if they only had one, and one of them, what she said was, if she had known, she would have sold sooner because she would have had a much higher multiplier. Because she said one of her family members got sick, and so she kind of didn't take care of the business as much as she used to. So the sales actually plateaued or dropped a little bit, and that's what the broker told me. You have to sell when you're growing really quickly. Because once you plateau or your sales start to decrease, then we're not even talking about the same multiplier.
Right. So they want to see the potential.
Exactly. And put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, it would probably be the same, right? Yeah. Well, I guess could you share with us some mistakes you made and that others can learn from?
Yeah, so for me, when I started out, I launched two products and did zero research on the market. So pretty much launched them, and they both failed. I lost like about $100 in the first one. It was roughly around there, and that was pretty much I guess that was a make or break, right? Third product I was gonna launch. If it didn't do well, I was gonna get out, and like I
Yeah.
told myself that. So I was, I got lucky that I launched my third product and it did well, right? You can also say I was lucky that I launched even my first and second, stuff like that. But I was able to break free somewhat, to make some money. I had a lot of capital as a kid. I worked at a farm since I was 9 years old, till I was about 20. So I had lots of money when I was younger. But yeah, that's pretty much broke me out there. Another mistake is when sales started taking off, I didn't, I wasn't collecting all the invoices. I wasn't doing my accounting. I got really lazy with it. Like I wasn't following like how much I was making. So when it came to tax time, I was very unorganized.
Yeah.
The tax professional just had, just a heyday on me. Just they could literally tell me everything, how upset they were, and I had to pretty much say yes and amen because like I did so many bad things. So for those that are actually selling or having businesses or have products, you make sure to take care of your business in terms of paperwork. So I didn't do that. I didn't try to take advantage of credit cards as fast as I could. But in terms of like new level or beginner stuff like that I did wrong. Let's see. So when I started off my first brand, I decided to go random, and
Yep.
I made the brand name Random, but it was a beauty product that really just took off all of a sudden, right? So I think it was my sixth product was a beauty product, and just like boom, and it was off the ground, right? And I was making a ton of money, and I had to let go of those products. I wanted to those other products were good, but I was like convinced on the fact, and a lot of people talk about it, is brand, right? So I was like, okay, I have to let these other ones go. So I decided to drop them off and be like, okay, I'm done with those. Even though they make me money, I want to keep this brand specific, right? Because sending out email automation stuff like that and talking about your brand when you're selling random stuff in there, it just doesn't work so well. So that was the thing that I really made a mistake on. So for those of you guys who are out there trying to look for a brand, if your product, I would first launch a product and have a brand name that's random, and then if it blows up, try take advantage of making a new brand. Because that's not what I did, right? You can make multiple brands under one account. I didn't do that. I didn't actually know that. I was being stupid at the time. So I made the brand, and then changing your custom package designs, changing this, changing that, changing the brand. It's a lot of work. So I didn't go out and do that. So that was one of my biggest mistakes that I made.
Yeah. And one thing you mentioned, because if you're disorganized with your bookkeeping and accounting, you don't really know your numbers. And I think one thing we see online is that people share their numbers, and they don't actually know how much they're making. Now, gross revenue is nice to share, but you can make $1 million in revenue and make $0 in profit. So you actually have to know your bottom line. Like you have to know that number. Otherwise, it's easy to have like your expenses way over your revenue, especially in our world. Like there's so many software, you can spend so much on PPC. Like it's crazy,
Tell me
right?
about it. No, like that's a good thing you brought that up, because for me, like I'm actually a numbers guy. I'm just a very disorganized guy. So they kind of fight with each other. But what the thing was is like just I wasn't. Put it this way, I wasn't an internet guy, right? My parents are religious. I didn't have TV at home. I wasn't have social media. I wasn't allowed to have an iPhone. I had a flip phone. So my parents were really religious, right? So I wasn't used to all of this like social media and this and this and that. I picked it up fairly quickly because for me the phone was like oh my, like I gotta use a phone, and then I was like just working on all day, right? Like I just do it, and I first started off just by playing around with it, and then started to realize that the business behind like Facebook, like I look at it as a business now. I don't look at it as like watch memes and look at these things and that. I look at it as a business now, like ads and stuff like that, right? So I was really disorganized, but right now I've pretty much got my profit margin down to T. But talking about softwares, like I use Ticket Metrics now, like for you know, for my PPC, right, it's automated thing where it'll decrease your bid spend on certain keywords that don't convert. Ones that convert well, it'll increase automatically, and it's linked to your seller account. You know, all kinds of stuff like that. And I use PPC Scope to, like, you know, really, you know, see what kind of conversions I'm getting, what kind of spending I'm doing on PPC. Really, like, just working with my PPC, just making sure it's the best, right? And I just got it recently, so it is in the update of, you know, whatever I'm teaching to people, but you know, I haven't even figured out 100%, so I haven't made any videos online about it or on YouTube, just because I really want to harp it down before I just go out there and tell everybody I know what's going on when I don't really, but I'm getting there. So yes, I do use a lot of softwares, and I'm kind of curious to know if you use a lot of softwares as well.
Yeah, you know what? I've tried many different ones. Not for PPC. For PPC, we've done it on Seller Central for a long time directly, and then after that, I actually outsourced PPC to a company called PPC Strike. They were doing well, but then I wanted to try something else. So right now I'm actually using Ignite by Seller Labs.
Okay, yeah.
And it's actually really good. I really like it. Because again, they show you like suggestions for keywords. So like they'll say, okay, you should increase your bid on that or decrease your bid on that. You should archive this keyword, put this one as exact negative, whatever. They just do all the suggestions. You just have to put in your ACoS target, and then they'll do all the math behind it and tell you, okay, you should do that. And then you can accept, delay, or reject suggestions. It's actually
what's it called again? Ignite what?
Ignite by Seller Labs. So the same company that does Feedback Genius.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then, you know, I use a bunch of other ones, Cash Cow Pro, Helium 10, Seller Legend. Man, that's the ones I can. Yeah, there's just so many. But yeah, and then I'm just wondering on how much are you spending on PPC right now, like in terms of money, and then in terms of percentage of your sales?
Okay, so percent of my sales, it's like you're pretty much asking the average ACoS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the average ACoS for my accounts, and I want you to argue me on this because I like to have arguments on this, and I argue with a lot of people with this. Is my ACoS is roughly 25 to 26%. That's where it hangs in. But my profit margins average roughly to 39 to 42% in that area. So my thing is, a low ACoS is bad. A high PPC ACoS is all right, but somewhere in the middle is better. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Okay.
Because if you're too low, you're probably not spending enough, so you won't actually rank well organically on certain keywords, and then too much is just basically throwing money out the window. And then I'm right around yours as well. I'm roughly around the 17-18% mark.
Okay.
But my niche is not. I'm pretty sure like the keywords are not as competitive as yours, so it's probably like the bids are probably lower. But yeah, I think you're right. I'm kind of on, because I know there's different school of thoughts. Like some guys actually don't spend on PPC, but I don't think you can scale and grow really big if you don't spend on PPC.
Not a chance. You have to run PPC because there's long tail key phrases, there's Spanish, there's misspellings, there's so many things that you just gonna miss out on. Too many.
Yeah. So how much do you spend a month roughly on PPC? Do you know?
So PPC, like for everything I spend on is it's getting close to like 30 to 40,000 depending. Yeah, it's expanded. Like sometimes I'm cutting back. Like I go through it every morning. Like every morning I wake up and I go through it. Right, like it gets the update. I go through it. I generally watch all the baby accounts, like the ones that are just somewhat newer, like a few months old. You know, I have a SKU coming out here in a bit. So actually, it's because I'm launching one. So I said I wasn't going to be launching, but I am. I mentioned that earlier too before this call. So, you know, it's just I watch every time in the morning PPC, and I want to like make sure that these keywords are getting worked on, and these ones are not like getting removed, because like sometimes like, and I have a question for you, because I've been trying to learn this, and I know how to use broad, phrase, and exact, but at what point, like, Christmas, every Christmas, I kill it on the exact keywords. I get so much money. I make, like, the ACoS, like, if I start from, like, say, November the 1st, and I go from January the 1st, and I take that time frame, and I check out the ACoS for my exact keyword, like, the exact match of that keyword, it will have like a 7 or 8% ACOS, and I'll spend like 7,000 to make like 100,000.
Yeah.
Right. But then during the year, if I grab from like January to like, August, the ACOS average is like 30% or 40, and I'm like, do I get rid of it? I want to use it because Christmas, it just blows out of proportion for me. So what do you do with those?
Well, mine are actually pretty consistent throughout the year. But I mean, if it depends. Is it like on your main keywords or?
It's actually my broadest keyword. It's an exact match of my broadest keyword. So it's like one I'd love to have, and I want to keep it because it gets me a lot of sales at its 30% ACOS right now, or 33 right now, I believe it is at. But during Christmas, it's sitting at like 7 or 6 even.
Well, I don't know. I would probably try to lower my bid a little bit and see what comes out of it.
And then during the year you'd do that, and then during Christmas you'd up it because the conversion is so much better.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I don't get it. Like I have it with 2 products, and they're like my best ones, and I'm like, ugh. Like, tell me why I'm making so much money during Christmas off of you guys, and then during the year you're like pretty much making me no money. Well, I have a margin, but like I would always keep it even though it's at a high percentage, because I'm still making like a 9% or profit on those that keyword or those keywords. But during Christmas, I'm making like a 40% almost, right? Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and so do you, that's a problem we have as Canadians. Do you actually have a US dollar credit card to rack up points for the PPC?
I have a Chase card.
Oh, okay. So you can get one for a Canadian corporation?
Yeah, you can get one as a Canadian corporation, but the thing is, I was like, that's another thing I was mentioning before this call, is like, I haven't figured out all my banking, right? Like the credit cards thing like that, I did not take advantage of that. So in terms of points, like I could have had so many more points in terms of like charging PPC to my credit card, instead of to my seller account, right? I was deducting it off my sales. It just bump off like, $2,000 bumped off. All of a sudden, like the next day, be like dropping a number of money they owe me, right? But like instead of putting on my credit card, where I had points are just like, I was making points, right? Like, so like now I got it figured out. But yeah, that's how I did. So for now, like, I haven't been doing a whole lot of stuff on those cards, but I'm using my parents' American like company right now. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's so it's like something I wouldn't like could be comfortable telling everybody else to do, and not everybody would have that opportunity. My parents are like decently well off, right? So they they have money kind of everywhere. So I help use that, but I'm trying to figure that out. So if we can never work together on something like that, I'd be really interested. I mean, I'm curious to know what you do with it as well.
Yeah, well, again, I use the RBC Business cross-border account, and I actually got a US dollar Visa on the Canadian side, so that's what I use.
US dollar Visa. Okay.
Yeah.
I will have to. It's on the recording, so we're good.
It's not the best. Like, we don't have as many options as the Americans. But I do make like 1 point per dollar, and then I can transfer those points into like WestJet dollars and stuff like that. So it's actually not bad because you rack up. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I use for. I actually haven't found any other US dollar credit cards for corporation in Canada that are in US dollars. I don't know any other ones.
Just for RBC then.
Yeah, well, because I know most guys in the US, that's what they use. They use the Chase Inc. one because I think the rewards are really good. But yeah, we don't have as many options here in Canada.
Yeah. So like so I have 2 different businesses, right? I have my Amazon businesses, and I have business with technically businesses, but business, and then my Everman's Empire, right? YouTube channel and whatever else we got going on there, right? So RBC I like to use for Everman's Empire, and then BMO is like my Amazon thing, right? So I use BMO, so I can definitely get a card like that. So I've never really looked into that, but
so do you have 2 corporations?
Yeah.
And are they federal or provincial corporations?
I have a look into that.
Is it a numbered company?
Yeah.
Yeah, and is it in your case? Is it like a BC Inc. or BC Ltd. or something?
BC blah 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 number Ltd.
Yeah,
but you can change it. Okay, so
yeah, you can change it, but it's a provincial corporation. Yeah. That's what I have. I have an Alberta Ltd.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so you said you use BMO to get paid, right? BMO Harris.
Yeah. There's no cross border on that though. It's just an American bank account. The money stays in America and it just like circulates.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so you pay your vendors from that account that's based
Yep.
in the US. Okay. Well, that's pretty good though. Because what I do is I get paid in the US dollar account that's based in US at RBC Bank in Georgia. Really, it's only a receiving account. I get the cash in there, I transfer it to Canada in a US dollar account, and then from there I pay my vendors, do whatever I need to do.
Right.
But yeah, awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, it's, we're almost done here, but anything else that you might want to share with, my YouTube channel is mainly for Amazon Canadian sellers. So anything else you want to share with other potential Amazon Canadian sellers that you
Yeah.
think
So
would be good?
for Canadian sellers out there, now Charles may have a different opinion of things than I do, but my opinion is for all you guys that are trying to sell as Canadians, it's important to look at the market, right? And if you look at the Canadian or the American population versus the Canadian population is 10 times larger. But the sales are like, according to an article I read, it was like 24 to 26 times more sales in America as of 2016 or 2017. I can't remember exactly what the article was for which year it was. But it's crazy differences. So like me and Charles were saying on the other call on my channel, the potential of leaving a 9 to 5 for you guys is so much higher in the US. So I think for the new seller that looking to sell, I would suggest selling on .com, and then from there on looking to sell on .ca because things can be easier. And there's just more things involved. There's more duties, more tax. There's more like import. There's all in fees, whatnot. Amazon fees. They're all so much higher in Canada. There's less sales because it's a less competitive marketplace. Also more expensive to do things, so the price can be higher. Less advantageous for customers to go there and buy products. So all in all, I think Amazon.com would be a better market. And just really in 2018 it's different, right? Like I always teach to people or tell people, bundle, come out with different offers, make sure you're, looking at the process, right? Like look at the market, find where's the gap, because Amazon's a competitive marketplace. Like from one of my products, I get dinged for having too high of a price. Amazon says, okay, you want to have that price, you're going to charge this fee, or you drop it to X price. Actually, do you ever have that? And then they charge me this fee. Do you ever have that where you get like a percentage extra if you charge too much?
Yeah, well, they don't charge extra, but they send me those suggestions. They say, hey, your product might not be the lowest priced, so we suggest you drop it by whatever. I think it was $3, and then we'll drop our fee by 7 or 8%. And I've never done it,
really,
but I keep getting suggestions.
See, but they do a suggestion first for me, and then one of my products, because it's like a premium one. It's like, I guess you're like, it just sells so well, so I can charge a higher price and just makes it look like it's high quality, which it is, in my opinion, because I'm a brand owner. They first start with a suggestion, and then they say, hey, here's your fees. If you want to drop that fee off, make your product more competitive, because Amazon's a competitive marketplace, right? So what I'm suggesting to you guys is find a product that's good, right? And find that gap in the market and create that offer, right? Because everybody on Amazon, and it's funny that I watch it all the time. Like I look at products for people that I help all the time, and I see people copy, right? They copy the exact same product, the exact same price, and all it does is just saturates the market and the price goes down. But if you bundle, create bigger barrier or higher barrier of entries, and just make it super difficult for people to do it. Like maybe you get one product from Taiwan because they don't even meet in China, right? And the other one from China, you have to ship them together. That's a massive barrier of entry. I don't even do that. But if you can possibly do that, that's going to be like a one-on-one. Like nobody's going to copy you, right? So that's like a product that you just be all alone in on, right? Like some other guys might have the same product as the one, but you have an additional item that nobody can bundle, and they might find out how you did it. But the chances are super slim that you're going to have that success rate. You'll probably be able to get in there, get those sales, get those reviews, and just place yourself in there and gain that sales history that everybody really wants. So kind of my suggestions. Man.
Well, thanks a lot, Nick, for doing this interview for my channel, and I hope I wish you success in the future, and hope we'll talk again soon. So
yeah, we got to meet up sometime. Okay, appreciate it.